Prince Joachim of Denmark returns home to Denmark amid a family scandal with his family. A delightful surprise from the Danish royal family, we came across a new photo of Prince Joe Kem, who came back home with his wife Marie and their children. He went to the Copenhagen car races, which was one of the few crowned individuals who didn't go to Paris on July 26. The others were Albert I of Monaco and Charlene of Monaco. Louis, Maxima and William Alexander of the Netherlands present for the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in the French capital were Philipe VI and Lazia of Spain, as well as Frederick and Mary of Denmark, who heartily cheered on the athletes representing their delegation as they passed the torch, even though the king was conspicuously absent. One internet user commented, "The Queen may be Queen of Denmark, but she will always be married from Australia." The Queen opted to stay a little longer to cheer during some events, including equestrian sports, handball, and the swimming events, where she took her first steps as Queen Mary. Josephine, the Queen's mother, and Vincent were photographed hugging and photographing the Australian swimmers who won gold in the freestyle relay. Even though the American-based Danish Prince Joe preferred to spend the holidays at home, he had just as active a time there as his sister-in-law. On the streets of Denmark's capital, Copenhagen, this past weekend was the site of the legendary Grand Prix of Copenhagen, a race that has become something of a national anthem. Enthusiasts came to the sporting event to visit, about which the official Instagram account of the Danish royal family shared 3 photos. The first shows the king's brother Frederick with his wife Mary and their children Henrik and Athena. In the next photo, Joachim of Denmark took his place behind the wheel of one of the racing cars. Today among the visitors were their Royal Highnesses Prince Joe Kem and Princess Marie, who together with their Excellencies Count Henrik and Countess Athena saw historic cars up close. The caption to the photo says, "This is why Joachim of Denmark and his family came to watch this historic car race," as he moved to the United States with his wife and 2 youngest children on September 1 of last year. In an interview, he admitted that his wife felt in Washington like a fish in water. It should be noted that this is not the first time she has crossed the Atlantic studying international business and economics. She lived in Boston. She also lived in New York, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in the 1990s. As for their children Henrik and Athena, they seem to have also adapted to American life. They started school on Monday, August 28, and are very excited. They find it interesting and have already made new friends. Highlight Joachim of Denmark celebrating Prince Joachim's family's return to Denmark. Fans noticed an interesting detail about his wife Marie. From a distance, she looks like Queen Mary in this photo. However, as the saying goes, these 2 women couldn't be more different. The remarks made by the Frenchwoman Marie reportedly deeply distressed the newly crowned Danish queen, and the 2 daughters-in-law of King Margaret. I could not conceal their distant relationship with one another. After the internal crisis that broke out at the end of 2022, Margaret's abrupt decision to depose her 4 grandchildren of their princely titles was a devastating blow to the couple's relationship. The announcement further strained relations between Joachim and Marie, on one hand, and those now known as Frederick and Queen Mary, on the other. Prince Joachim swiftly returned on the day of his elder brother's proclamation in January of last year, adding fuel to the fire. The journey without his wife and 4 children is evidence that relationships were still difficult. Princess Marie bitterly recalls Margaret's decision, which she still finds hard to digest more than a year after making her statement. "This is a complex family matter, and the fact that it directly affected the children, their name, identity, and everything, makes it more than just a title," as Princess Marie explains before her husband ends the debate. Despite their dissatisfaction, the Prince of Denmark and Maria are sure that this matter is now in the past, and that we have evolved. Dynastic ties and internal conflicts can be intricate and multi-layered, as seen by the history of the Danish royal family, particularly in relation to the relationships between its members. It is clear that there is friction within the royal family due to Prince Joachim's return to his native country from the US, his family's appearances at public occasions, and the apparent conflict between Queen Margaret's 2 daughters-in-law. In spite of their public appearances and efforts to put their differences behind them, Prince Joachim and Princess Marie are still reeling from the events of 2022, when their children lost their princely titles. The Queen's decision to do this alienated them from the rest of the royal family and exposed deep-seated inconsistencies within their own family that have yet to be resolved. Marie and her daughter-in-law's strained relationship is a major setting element. Despite the similarities noted by fans, Queen Mary and Prince Philip's relationship is marked by an icy attitude. This icy attitude attracts the attention of the public and the media. The conflict serves as a reminder that even in royal families, which are symbols of tradition and stability, there are personal dramas and complex human emotions. Royal families, although supported by certain etiquette and formalities, face the same challenges and problems as ordinary families. One example is the impact of the loss of titles on relationships and self-esteem, as seen with Joe and Marie's children. Ultimately, family relationships are affected by these issues. Persist even among people who possess lofty positions as the bedrock of existence. The Danish royal family, similar to other royal families, exemplifies the variety, complexity, and fragility of human relationships. It is clear that there is internal turmoil and tensions within the family, as Prince Jim's return to his motherland after spending time in the US and his participation in family social occasions highlight the yearning for reunion and a return to roots. Royal connections were profoundly affected by Queen Margaret's decision to depose Prince Joe Kem's children, Princess Marie, of their princely titles. While the decision marked a shift in the royal family's structure, it also sparked controversy and dissatisfaction among those affected. Prince Joe and his family have faced and are still facing the challenge of figuring out their place in the public eye and the royal family's inner workings. The complicated relationship between Princess Marie and Queen Mary, which captivates viewers, highlights the intricacy of the royal family's internal dynamics, which can be complicated and difficult to resolve, even within the seemingly stable and traditional royal family. Stories like this serve as a gentle reminder that the royal family is, at its core, just another family dealing with its own set of problems, struggles, and quest for identity. It is not just a reason to celebrate that Prince Joe and Princess Marie have returned and are participating in family gatherings, it is also an opportunity to reflect on the value of personal relationships and the complexity of family bonds, even among the most prestigious members of society.